everything up. And that hurt me. I was like, how could you even get away with that? And because of Sophie's infatuation with Dom, she obviously believed him. She took his word for it, as you do when you're with someone. And I didn't blame her for that, and I still don't blame her for that at all. After all of this happened, I actually just felt like there was no more room for me to say anything. Like, I felt like my words didn't really hold any weight, and Dom had gotten so good at lying to people that I felt like the truth didn't even compare. So for the course of about a year, I was just the boy who cried wolf. I tried to move past the situation. I tried to let it go in hopes that maybe Dom learned from his mistake and maybe he actually wasn't cheating on Sophie anymore. Maybe he was actually being the boyfriend he was supposed to be from the very beginning. After a little while, I kind of rekindled the friendship with both Dom and Sophie, and we all kind of seemed to just move past it, and everything seemed to be going great. Up until about a month ago. I got a phone call from my friend Will telling me that he had a friend that was at a concert, and Dom was also at this concert making out with another girl. So we asked this girl to get photo evidence, if she can, of Dom with this female at the concert. Oh yeah, not to mention this that was at a concert, and Dom was also at this concert making out with another girl. So we asked this girl to get photo evidence, if she can, of Dom with this female at the concert. Oh yeah, not to mention, this is all happening while Sophie's in New York looking at her bunny billboard that he didn't even go with her to look at. When Sophie came back from her trip from New York, I went over to her house and I told her everything. I had concrete evidence and I showed it to her, and I figured there's absolutely no way Dom could manipulate this situation like he did a year ago. I have a snippet audio of a conversation that Sophie had with a girl that Dom cheated on her with, and out of respect for this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, and I also want to put out there that she didn't actually know that Dom and Sophie had a real relationship at the time, because Dom had told her that it was all for views and it was fake.
We all start talking. I have not talked to Dom one-on-one in a year. I don't know anything about his current life at all. I asked him if you were a real relationship or not, so I was just curious on if it was real or if it wasn't. And he tells me straight to my face.
It was definitely real, but just so you know.
And so he said to me, he was like, no, it is all for views. It was all fake. And I didn't think he would lie to me about that. Later in the night, we hooked up, and I had absolutely no idea. And if I ever did, I would have never done that. And I am so sorry.
Like, I'm serious. I'm not mad at you about that at all.
Now, obviously, there's plenty of details that Dom and Sophie worked out on their own that I'm not in a place to talk about. But this is just from my perspective, what I've seen and the facts that I do know. With that said, Dom, I'd like to say that you're better than this, but I think we both know that that's not true.